disregarded my business and they shouted out this other company.
Go ahead and check out this sign. Shout out to Designs. He killed this sign.
That's the problem that I have.
He has his logo up on the wall.
That's the
Very
problem.
fire neon sign.
You wanted my product, you got my product, you posted it in your video, but you decided to give a bigger sign company the credit for their other sign.
Shout out, because I know from the sign, he also did this sign.
So scamming must run in the Ace family's blood because Austin McBroom's little brother, Landon McBroom, has found himself in trouble, along with his friend Joe the director, who's his roommate and videographer. The small business calling them out is called Fire Neon, and they make custom neon signs, so you can put in your order and have them make whatever you like. The company is owned by this woman named Anjelica, and she's been posting on her YouTube channel about her experiences with the McBrooms. Landon has been super busy lately with his new music career, and honestly, I don't know how I feel about this. Comment below, what do you guys think of that song? I don't know what to make of it, but it seems like Landon's been so busy lately that he's letting things fall through the cracks. And this small business owner went to the Ace family and to him in good faith because she started this small business and she wanted to do some type of collab to potentially help her out.
Try to make them signs and, you know, hope that this will blow up, you know, like you just have to have crazy faith in yourself, you know, and that's what I did. I had crazy faith in myself. Started following, you know, Joe and Landon, or I've always followed, you know, Landon and stuff, but I started following Joe, and I'm like, and then so he reaches out to me and he's like, let's work. And I'm like, what? Like, this is wild.
Small businesses and brands do this all the time, and I love it. Anytime anyone sends me anything, I put it in my videos. I love to promote small businesses, and it's really normal in influencer culture. So like I mentioned, Joe and Landon are like this. And actually, it turns out that Joe was the first one to reach out to Anjelica and ask her to work together. He even mentions, I was thinking along the lines of a shout out with a swipe up and a mention on my story. Even a cool little promo video for Instagram in exchange for a sign of my logo. So he wanted one of his own logo. Anjelica was super professional. She presented two options. I could, you know, get you the sign for free and you could pay for shipping, but then you'll, you know, do a promo video or story. There's another option where you can make an entire video and I'll cover the shipping cost and everything. So she presented him with options on how they could collaborate to benefit each other. Joe actually said that both options were ideal, but he usually charges $1,500 for an Instagram story, which I have some opinions when it comes to that.
Yeah, like, let's work. Like, what do you have in mind? And he was like, oh, like, I want this sign. He wanted a sign. It's Bonitafied Co. Like, Bonitafied Co. And I had told him, you know, I was very, very upfront with him. I'm like, hey, like, you know, is there any way that I could get like on your Instagram post? And he's like, no, like, Instagram post, I charge $1,500. And I was like, dang, like, I don't have that.
I cannot believe that he's trying to charge $1,500 for an Instagram shout out. But ultimately, they came to the agreement that he would send her $100 for shipping, and he even asked her for her Venmo, so she provided that. But I'm still hung up on the fact that he's charging that much for a story post because he's not even like a McBroom Ace family member. He has almost 200,000 followers on Instagram, but the likes on his posts and the comments do not add up. Like, how does he have less than 1,000 likes on this one post? Like, I get more than that, and I have a quarter of the following he does. I actually looked into his engagement, and he's falling at about 6%, which I'm not entirely sure what that means, but it doesn't sound good to me, and definitely not worth like a $1,500, you know, fee to be featured on his story when most of his followers aren't even watching his story. So that just rubbed me the wrong way right there. But Anjelica had faith and she continued to work on his sign. She actually provided a sketch and he said that he loved it. She created a sign for him that said like bonafide or Bonafide, I believe. I'm not entirely sure what that means, but here you can see the sign is all created and he says that he's speechless. So you would think that, like, you know, paying up the $100 wouldn't be that big of a deal, but we're not there yet. So Joe ends up receiving the sign. So Anjelica reaches out to see if he received the sign, and he did. And he asked her if she wanted anything specific on the story post, which was really nice because she was hoping in this moment that she was going to get a bunch of new orders and followers after he shared her work. He did end up posting the story. Here is the story itself, and you can see that he says, "Thank you for this gift. Here's their link. Go and check them out." So he fulfilled that part of the deal. So the story was posted, but she hadn't received the fee for shipping, and she could have kept asking for it, but I think she was a little bit nervous and reserved in this moment because maybe she felt like she was asking for too much. I don't know. It's scary to deal with these people. That's why I love having a manager, because, like, you don't deal with me, you deal with her, and you know, Kindle's great.
Just pay for shipping and I'll get you the sign and we'll just do a story shout out because it's only 24 hours. Like, I don't have money as a small business to just be, you know, just dishing out, you know, like, it was just so hard. I just remember the struggle. So he's like, yeah, like, we can do that. Like, I'll pay you $100 and it'll just be like a little shout out or whatever, because he wanted a big sign. And so we did the story shout out. He did hold up his end of the bargain, but I never got paid. And
so she never got paid, but I asked her, you know what? Did that story change your life? Like, did he make that story post and, you know, your business was flooded with new orders? You got so many new followers. Like, I want to tear up right now. Like, he saved Christmas, you know, like, did it blow up? So I asked her this, and she said, from Joe's story shoutouts, I literally got maybe 1 or 2 new followers, and there were no orders during that time. So, it's really unfortunate because she invested a lot into this and really got nothing for it. And imagine if she had to pay $1,500 for 1 or 2 new followers. It seriously gives me the ick. And Joe at this point felt inclined to ask for more. He was looking for a sign for Landon's daughter's room, Solene, some LED sign that says her name. He's also asking for a logo and a heart and a bunch of different things. So now multiple different products. They were going over colors and different things like this, so you can't deny that he was fully engaging in this and hoping to get these LED signs. And they even talked specifically about Solene, Landon's daughter's room, and where the sign's going to go and how it's going to place and can it fit in this spot. So they had this entire plan worked out, and he was going to get this sign for Landon and Solene. At this point, she should have asked for the shipping fee before she worked on those additional signs, and she, you know, she knows this now.
I, you know, gave him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, you know what, like, that'll just kind of be, that's my fault. I should have asked for the $100 before, even though he did ask me for my Venmo and I did send it to him and he never gave it to me. I was like, you know what, like, that's on me. That's my bad. Like, I'm the one who messed that up. You know what I mean? I was like, oh, fuck, like, okay, like, that was my fault.
Maybe it is her fault, but she was under the impression that these signs are going to be part of content. I mean, he literally said, cool, can't wait for this. Content going to go crazy. So suggesting that he's going to be creating content with her work that she's providing for free. So then he becomes eager. Like, he wants to know where his signs are, and he messages her, hey, with a crying emoji. And she sends some mock-ups, and then he received them. And he made another story post. So that's nice that he shout her out. I mean, that's the least that he can do. Again, she didn't receive any like additional like followers or orders from this. Again, how is it worth $1,500? Sounds like a ripoff. And honestly, $100 shouldn't be worth all of this. I mean, give her the money for the shipping. She's already given you so much. But Anjelica became really fed up after she saw a video posted a couple of days after that story post. So we had that second story post go up, and then like 2 days later, Landon posted a video. March 15th, 2022, fully furnished house tour. Finally. So Landon has moved into his new place because his relationship with Shyla ended on really bad terms, and while he was touring this home, he shared 2 different signs that were created for him and gave major shout outs to this company, which is not the company we're talking about right now.
We've already seen this room, you know what I'm saying, but we do have a new addition that Solene loved. Go ahead and check out this sign. Shout out to Mike Dynasty Designs. He killed this sign. He has another one for me upstairs that I'm about to show you guys, but Celine loved this. A lot of you guys asked where I got it from. Mike Dynasty Designs. Look him up on Instagram. He killed it. We appreciate it. She loved it. Shout out, because I know from the sign, Mike Dynasty also did this sign because I said I wanted it really, really bad. And this sign is so fire. Like, look at that sign. It's like 35 pounds. It's so fire. He killed that sign. Again, shout out to Mike Dynasty. I'm gonna have his information in the bio. He can make anything you want for your kids, for you, for your business, anything you want.
So where did these LED signs come from? And the one that's in Soline's room, isn't Anjelica creating a sign just like this? Like, why even have her create this sign if you already have someone else creating it for free and you're giving them a full shout out? And one of her signs were featured in the house tour in Joe's room. And actually, Anjelica found it really rude how like Landon kept saying like, fire sign, fire computer, fire this, because her brand is Fire Neon. And like, was it really that hard for them to mention like, hey, here's my sign from Fire Neon, go and check them out, they're great? He did not do that, and I would have been so upset if I were her.
Joe's room, very clean. Honestly, the cleanest I've ever seen it. He has his logo up on the wall, very fire neon sign. He has his setup, very fire. He has a sexy man up here on his TV, which is fire.
So Anjelica saw that video and she was probably like, what is going on here? I mean, I could already feel my stomach like sinking being in that moment.
They disregarded my business and they shouted out this other company. That's the problem that I have. For everybody wanting to know, what are you so pressed about? That's the problem. You wanted my product, you got my product, you posted it in your video, but you decided to give a bigger neon sign company the credit for their other signs. But you just disregarded mine. Not even in the I was like trying to look in the caption, like maybe my small business will be there somewhere. No, wasn't there. I was like, okay, like let me just give them the benefit of the doubt and like let me reach out and see what's going on.
So Anjelica isn't even hung up on all the free product that she had given him. She's bothered by the fact that they were so willing to shout out this other brand, but then completely disregarded her work. So she messaged him and she said, I'm really disappointed. Like, I want some clarity. These signs were really expensive. Like I'm a small business. Like, where's my shout out? She asks him if he can please respond because he wasn't replying. And then he says he apologizes. He was in a rush to post. What would you like for him to do? And she claims that she wants to like get her proper shout out, or really you can pay for these two signs because they're about $250 each. It's not cheap. Like at this point, how many signs? Like 3 different signs made. So she's getting close to $1,000 out of like revenue to provide these free products to these influencers who aren't giving proper shout outs. Then this is so bothersome to me. You know, these are custom signs. You can't just send them back. And of course, Joe doesn't want to pay the $250 because like the $100 was way too hard to pay. So he says, you know what? Why don't I just send them back? Which at this point, those are custom pieces. Nobody wants your signs. Like that's not going to work. And I feel like that is just so immature and nasty. Like you really don't care that she put in this work for you guys. And are you going to send those signs back? No, you're going to block her and ignore her like you have been. And that's when I'm going to step in and say, hey, my followers, this isn't right. At this point, she even brought up the $100 that he was supposed to send to her months ago for shipping. And it's all like coming together that she spent a lot of money for really nothing. I
told him straight up, it's your logo. I can't do anything with that product. It was like hundreds of dollars worth of product. So it's close to $1,000. If you go on my page, Fire Neon, it literally has all the prices there of how much this is.
So she writes this reply and she sends some screenshots showing him their conversation. He says, I'm responding later. I'm on set. We don't know what you're on set for. Maybe Landon's music career. Then she says, do you have time to respond? We have been waiting. And then she continues to go on and say that, you know what, we're going to take you to small claims court because you pretty much have stolen from us. So she's prepared to go to court and get her money back, which do it, queen, like as you should, because this is not right. And clearly this Joe guy just doesn't have it together. In the grand scheme of things, like shouting out her sign, sending the $100, it's like so simple compared to this. Like they dug their own grave. Like this, they've made this a problem. And people look at Anjelica and they're like, wait, like really, girl? Like you trusted these people? And she understands that now, that like these people are like avid scammers. They like truly cannot stop.
whatever, it is what it is. I understand everybody's like, oh, you should have known, you should have known. Sorry, by me having a good heart and giving people the benefit of the doubt, I didn't think they were gonna screw me over. But they did. They did. And yeah, I understand that that's my fault, but by me speaking up, it's by me trying to prevent this from happening to somebody else.
So I feel really bad for Anjelica. It's not cool. It's not okay. And honestly, I would love to have one of those LED signs. Like, I got a new logo that I created that will be coming out soon. Let me know what you guys think of it. But like that, an LED sign or like my name or something, like, girl, I might need to put in an order. But go ahead and check out her small business. I will link it below. I just think it's like really sad that like it has to come to this point. But when I see these stories and I see like someone like trying to get like their story out there and just like it's not really picking up, I feel for them. And I, especially when it comes to the Ace family, because I talked to other small businesses, like the one in Miami, this car business where like Austin scammed them out of rentals when he was there for his fight, I believe. And like they were so scared away by the Ace family, they deleted like all their socials and their company. I believe they had to like rechange their company name. Like they got so freaked out by these people. And I just don't like corruption in the influencer world or anywhere at all. But I want to hear what you guys think in the comments below. Go and send some love over to Anjelica, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.